Hi everyone, Kate here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make what is called a rouge cake. Now, this recipe is from 1920 and it's for this product right here. Now this is a really interesting product. I thought it was going to be a powder based on the recipe. It was very similar to some powders I've made before. The only difference is that it used a gum to bind it together, and I thought, okay, well, it's using that just to make a pressed powder. No. This came out and it was like concrete, and I was so sure I did something wrong. But after a bit more research into this type of product in some other books, I discovered that this product is a water-activated product. Originally, you were intended to breathe on it and then use a piece of flannel. And the idea is that the moisture of your breath activates a little bit of product on the top and then you can blend it in. Ugh. That kind of grosses me out. I don't want to breathe all over it. So what I've discovered is the best way to use it is actually to use a slightly damp beauty blender. It's best for wearing with foundation-free skin because it is a liquid. It's a little hard to apply over top of foundation, and obviously if you're applying it before foundation, your foundation's gonna cover it up. So that's my recommendation, is to use a beauty blender to apply it. But you can apply it with just your fingers, or you can breathe all over the stuff if you have particularly moist breath. Now, just a word about pigments before we start. The original rouge recipes used carmine, or also known as cochineal, from the cochineal beetles. Carmine was a very, very popular rouge product, right? Going way back. It was very popular in the Victorian times. It was still very popular in the 1920s. I've opted to go with a red iron oxide. It gives a different color blush. It's not going to give you the same color as a carmine or an artificial red dye. It's a bit more of a brick red rather than that sort of pinky red color. A little bit more orange in there, which I really like for autumn. I already have a pink rouge. I didn't need another one that was exactly the same. But if you don't mind using carmine, then you could easily substitute in this recipe. Just do the same thing with the carmine. I quite like this brick red though. I find it a lovely color for autumn. I have seen pictures in old magazines that use a very similar color rouge, so while it's not strictly the historical recipe, you can still use it for historical looks, and depending on your skin tone, this color might actually suit you better. So I leave it up to you.
For this recipe, you will need a powder base. I went with a blend of 10 grams of calcium carbonate, 6 grams of zinc oxide, and 5 grams of kaolin clay. But feel free to tailor these proportions to suit your skin or what you happen to have in your cupboard. You will also need 2 grams of gum arabic, also known as acacia powder, and 1 gram of your pigment. Add all of these ingredients to your makeup-only coffee grinder. Sandwich a piece of cling wrap between the bowl and the lid and grind the powders for about 30 seconds. Tap the lid with a spoon and let sit covered for 2 minutes to let the dust settle. Repeat this process until the pigment is fully mixed with the other powders. Transfer the powders to a bowl and add just enough rose water to form a thick paste. Think cookie dough, not cake batter. I would recommend adding the rose water with an eyedropper. I just tried pouring it directly from the bottle and I accidentally added a bit too much. This led to cracking in the final cake and extended the drying time by about a day or two. Though if this happens, don't worry, the rouge is still perfectly usable. It's just not quite as aesthetically pleasing. After you reach the right consistency, transfer the mix to a shallow container. Tap the container on the counter to remove any air bubbles, pressing the powder down if you need to, and then let it dry for a few days. To use this product, take a damp beauty blender and use it to apply a bit of the rouge to your cheeks. It takes a bit of practice to get a feel for how much of this product to apply, but you can always use the clean side of the sponge to erase any mistakes or remove excess product if you accidentally apply too much.
Now, you could also substitute this recipe to create a dry to liquid paint of other forms. I've seen similar recipes used for blue eyeshadow paint, especially when it's being used very delicately, like sometimes back in the Victorian and Edwardian periods, they were actually just sort of emphasizing veins in their face. Different beauty standards than today, obviously, but you could use the blue to make yourself look more delicate. You could probably use it as an eyeshadow. I haven't tried it as an eyeshadow, but that would be something interesting to do. I've seen it done with black as well, and I will probably do a future video on how to use this to make sort of an eyeliner style. A slightly different recipe to do eyeliner, but it's a very similar concept, these dry to liquid products, which I think they're quite interesting. They're very different than any modern product I've used, and again, they are best with makeup-free skin. I always start with the blush if I'm using this dry rouge, but again, it's very good for days where you don't want to wear foundation. It's a very quick and easy to apply product, and it gives just a nice gentle flush to the cheeks. Well, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!